It is a small town of Vernon, where podcaster Chris is talking about the Sweet 16 killer from 1987. In the year 1987, 3 teenage girls Tiffany, Marissa and Heather were killed by the Sweet 16 killer, each having been stabbed 16 times on the nights of their 16th birthdays. The killer was never found, but Vernon still views him as an icon and hosts a murder tour while people wear his mask on Halloween. Fast forward to the present day, Halloween night, teenager named Jamie enjoys a concert with her friend Amelia, blissfully unaware that the sinister past is about to revisit her life. Jamie's mother, Pam, a former friend of the Sweet 16 killer's victims, is brutally attacked by the murderer on that Halloween night while handing out candy. At school, Principal Doug Summers offers his condolences to Jamie, while Sheriff Kara Lim suggests Jamie is a suspect or knows something about the killer's identity. Jamie fires back at her, saying she is as useless as her own sheriff father was in catching the killer back in 1987. Jamie later joins her friend Amelia at the site of the school science fair, where her project is a working time machine, based off the designs of her mother Lauren. While it is not complete, Amelia has the travel date set to October 27, 1987, which is the night of Tiffany's murder when the killing spree began. Jamie later contacts reporter Chris since she knew he and her mother were texting, with hopes that they may uncover the killer's identity. Chris shows Jamie a note that was supposedly left in Pam's locker in high school by the killer, "You're next, one day." At night, when Jamie returns to join Amelia at the fair, she is chased by the killer. She hides in the photo booth where the time machine killer stabbing the control panel, time machine gets activated and send Jamie to the year 1987. She realizes that if she stops the Sweet 16 killer's original spree, she can save her mother, Pam's life. Jamie, disguising as an exchange student from Canada, discovers that Pam and her friends were despised by everyone in the town as they were bullies. She introduces herself to the girls and tries to find a way to get Tiffany to cancel her Sweet 16 party for that night, but just gets rudely told off by Pam. Jamie first goes to find Sheriff Dennis Lim, Kara's father, to try and warn him that murders will begin happening, but they ignores her words. She then goes to find the young Lauren, Amelia's mother, who is a science nerd like Amelia. Jamie explains her situation and how she needs to find the killer. She convinces Lauren by showing her iPhone and then taking her to the photo booth where the machine is. Lauren gets her tools to try and fix it. Later, Jamie and Lauren go to Tiffany's party to stop Tiffany murder in her garage by any means. There she sees young Doug Summers, her current school's principal, young Randy Finnell, her current school's coach, young Kara Sheriff. However, she sneaks in and get in with girls who are all called the Mollies because they like to dress like Molly Ringwald. Inside the house she sees her dad, Blake, arguing with Tiffany. She suggests Tiffany to date Eddie Royal, a famous rock star she admires. Tiffany and Eddie go to her parents' room. Jamie searches for Tiffany when she doesn't show up in the garage. Eddie disappears, and the killer appears, stabbing Tiffany on the waterbed. Pam and Jamie arrive too late. Wanting to bond with her mom, Jamie says she is a psychic and can see the future until 2023. She joins their group and convinces them to leave for the weekend. Back in the present, 2023, Blake realizes Jamie is missing and suspects Chris. Amelia notices her time machine and thinks Jamie went back in time. She gets help from Chris, as they find new crime scene photos of Tiffany's murder, since they remember her being found in the garage unlike now where it was her parents' bedroom. Amelia notices Jamie's message on a waterbed giving hint at needing another metal conductor for the time machine. Back at school, Jamie hears about a student named Fat Trish, who died in a drunk driving accident. Trish's brother, everyone calls Lurch, works at the fair and is known to creep others out. Jamie joins Pam, Marissa, and Heather at the cabin where Marissa was killed, despite her protests to not go to the cabin. Randy, Kara, and Blake also join the group. Locked out of the cabin, Jamie sees the killer entering and warns Kara and Randy. The killer goes after Heather instead of Marissa, stabbing her in the living room. Jamie and Blake fight off the killer. In the midst of the fight, Jamie hits the killer head with firewood, which leads killer nosebleed. The killer runs away. Jamie gave the police a paper towel with the killer's blood on it, explaining that it contained the killer's DNA. However, the police didn't get what DNA is and threw away the only piece of evidence, thinking she was being strange. Blake suspects Kara because she wasn't in the living room when the incident occurred. Kara protests that she is not the killer and leaves the area. Lauren warns Jamie that her time-traveling phone is running low on battery, and if it dies, Jamie will be stuck in 1987. At the fair, Jamie spots the quantum drop ride and thinks it could be an alternative power source. Later, suspecting Lurch is the killer, Jamie checks his van but finds only video game cartridges. Lurch assures Jamie he's not a killer but is passionate about developing games. In the present, Amelia is closer to fixing her machine. Back to 1987, all the group shows up at the fair and decided to fight against the killer. They see Kara dressed up as Grim Reaper as it is Halloween night. They all disguised as Halloween costumes. As the killer targets Marissa, the others fight back. Kara uses her scythe to impale the killer. They remove the mask and finds out Doug is the killer, and Pam remembers Doug was Trish's boyfriend. Marissa realizes Doug knew about a sleepover where they got Trish drunk. Jamie blames Pam, but Pam denies involvement. Another killer appears, slashing Marissa's throat. In the present, Lauren finds Amelia knocked out, and the time machine is gone. Jamie heads to the quantum drop, and the killer briefly stabs Norm on live TV. Pam and the killer join Jamie on the ride. The killer stabs Pam, but Jamie ejects her to safety. While falling off the quantum drop, Pam holds the mask, revealing podcaster Chris as the killer. He killed Pam and his own dad for a new Killing Spree podcast. As the time machine activates, Jamie shoots Chris with Lauren's nail gun, which Lauren gave it to Jamie for safety, making him explode into pink mist. Back in the present, Jamie is relieved to find Pam alive. Lauren and Amelia confirm their success in saving Jamie. Lauren gives Jamie a notebook to track the changes. A young man, Jamie's 34-year-old brother, arrives. Jamie is now called Colette, and the young man is the main Jamie. The ending notes in Lauren's notebook reveal more changes. Jamie having an older brother with a family. Lauren works as a bioengineer, and Amelia remains Jamie's best friend and a genius. Randy is now the school principal, and Kara is the chief of police, much happier in her job. Lurch became a video game developer and started an anti-bullying organization in memory of Trish. Chris is alive but became a monk due to his father's murder trauma, but Lauren still keep an eye on him. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.